Here we are. Trust the profits. We made it to the Florida Derby. Well, two of us at least. Trust the profits. It's the formula here, joined by Colin Sheehan, and we're going to be giving you our reaction to the Florida Derby as they are loading up now. Colin, how you doing today? What do you think we're going to see here?
Doing great, Formula. It's really exciting to see Forte back. That's what we're looking for. We expect this horse to be the Kentucky Derby favorite. We want to see how he performs
Yeah,
in the Florida Derby. He's 1-5 right now. The interesting part on the board is number 4, Mage, only a maiden winner, has only raced twice and is currently 9-2. I bet that a lot of that money as the 8 kicks up there. That is Mr.
wow,
Ripple.
Mr. Ripple. I got him in the TDF as one of my underlays. I hope that he sticks around for the whole race.
But going back to Mage, was
Yeah,
6 lengths behind Forte in the Fountain
yeah.
of Youth. Forte's on the outside in the 11. You're talking about how does Mage make up 6 more lengths? Maybe that's the possibility. Maybe he saves ground a little bit more than he did last time. And
He's
obviously the betting public gives him a shot.
he's the only other horse other than Forte that isn't under 10 to 1 or that is under 10 to 1, sorry, that isn't above 10 to 1. Uh Pretty incredible. Cyclone Mischief is in there as well. Fort Bragg, those horses are sitting around 12 to 1, 13 to 1 as we are getting ready to
Here we
take off
go.
here. And
This
I
is
got Mr.
exciting.
Ripple, Cyclone Mischief as the pace setters in my opinion. You got anyone else on your end who you think is going to steal the pace?
I think you had them on the outside there. Maybe West Coast Cowboy on the inside.
Okay.
And it'll be interesting to see what Mage does. So obviously, that first time showed early speed, but last
Yeah.
time out in the Fountain of Youth couldn't get up to front. So here we go. This is exciting. This is one of the
Yeah.
big ones, and they're off.
And
And the
Forte way on the outside, making his way in there, and just as we said, it looks like Mr. Ripple is pushing his way to the front, but he is maybe four wide there. On the inside, the two-horse West Coast Cowboy being pushed around, and Fort Bragg, the 10-horse, is taking off. He's got a nice 2 lengths lead there on Mr. Peaks, one of the four Saffy horses in this race. Uh, and behind him, we got Mr. Ripple and Cyclone Mischief, the two that I thought were going to be the pace setters. And the 11 horse way back there in the back of the pack.
Yeah, so the interesting thing here is Fort Bragg. Remember, Fort Bragg was entered in the Sunland Derby, a race that was only worth 50 points last week. He skipped that to come here and take on Forte in the Florida Derby. Many considered that an interesting move. That is one of the Baffert horses that is running for Tim Yakteen. And you can see down the back there, you got horses that are 6-7 wide. That is the 12
Yeah.
W. Nell, who's a big closer. So that's not to be worried about right now if you're a W. Nell fan.
Yeah, and Forte's making his way up. He's passing the one horse, Jungfrau, in the back there, and I can see him making his way through what looks like West Coast Cowboy on his way to Cyclone Mischief. Fort Bragg, as we're going around that turn there, still has a nice lead, but Mr. Ripple's starting to make a little bit of noise, as is Cyclone Mischief. I think Fort Bragg is slowing down.
Here's
Mage is
Forte
really
in the
coming out.
orange.
The four horses that I had in my trifecta box for TDF are really starting to make some noise now. Let's see who ends up making it up there.
And it's Mage and Cyclone Mischief. Forte's coming
Forte
here on the
looking
outside.
sluggish.
Here comes Forte
Mage.
on the outside.
Oh
Mage
boy.
and Cyclone Mischief.
Forte's pulling it. Is he going to beat him? Oh
He
wow.
is
Forte
gonna.
really pulled it out there at the end. A
Nice.
1 length lead over Mage and Cyclone Mischief. There you have it. Forte, his biggest challenge as of yet, looked like he was going to possibly be out of it. Looked a little sluggish and then really pulled it out in the end. Colin, what do you think of that performance there by Forte? Wow.
Well, you talk about being perfectly timed. Irad Ortiz has ridden Forte every time, and man, he perfectly timed that. But we talked about the betting board on Mage. The Mage
Yeah.
was taking a lot of money. That was another really impressive race out of Mage, who really, aside from Loggins, just to throw him in there, is the only horse that's
Sure.
given Forte, a little bit of a scare. And now Mage getting 40 points in this race will undoubtedly make it
Yeah.
into the gate in the Kentucky Derby, and a solid effort there by Cyclone Mischief as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely felt like Fort Bragg, a former Baffert horse now in the Actine barn. That definitely looked like a Baffert move to just send him early, set the pace, and then hope that you can, just gut it out towards the end. But definitely did not have the horse to be able to do that under this type of pressure with these types of closers here. Cyclone Mischief close to the pace there pretty much the whole way, maybe like 2 or 3 spots behind. Not super close to the pace, but he stuck with it, I must say. Cyclone Mischief, I thought that was a pretty impressive race by him.
Absolutely. And looking at the probables on your 11-4 exacta pays you $3 for a dollar. By far the lowest payouts on the exacta pool.
Yeah,
Um, and I'd like to go back and I'll go back. You want to go back and watch the replay to see how much effort Irad was pushing on Forte.
yeah,
You kind of get lost in the here comes Forte, and you're not watching to see how much is he pushing him to get him
yeah.
there.
Great
So
point.
certainly something you want to go back and watch on the replay as we sit here watching that live to see, how much did that take him to get there? Was it just he was just gave him a little urge and he did that? That would make it a lot more impressive, or was he really pushing on him? If he was really
Yeah,
pushing on him, now we're 4 weeks away from the Derby. You start to think about how much has he been racing. Obviously, he ran in the Fountain of Youth, had time off before
yeah.
that, comes back in the Florida Derby, but he is now undoubtedly your favorite for the Kentucky Derby and has shown nothing that makes you think that he's going to be easy to beat in that race.
Absolutely. So this is us from Trust the Profits. That was the Florida Derby. Forte does it again, his biggest challenge as of yet. And we will see you guys in the next video.